So one of the qualities of this book that I really found useful and important was that although you wrote the book and it is based on your life, this is your story, the book ultimately is, or was, my book. And so throughout all of these chapters, every bit of it was the launch pad of my story. Your story led to my story, your recovery, your location of self-value, your establishment of independence, your ability to develop the ability to say yes or no and mean it. Those were all the ways that I was able to go through those exercises and find my own story in your book. And that's one of the greatest experiences that a reader can have. And you've taken it even further than that and provided us all kinds of resources, tools, tips, and techniques. But let's start at the very beginning and talk about the overall design and the method that it's best for readers to use in reading this book.
Great. I'd love to do that because Martha and I worked very hard, starting with the end in mind. Right? The end is that it's really a book that's for the reader to discover their own story and get themselves unstuck from whatever it is. And so the structure of the book is very intentional. And so I'll just explain it to you a little and share a little bit about how some people use the book so that it makes sense.
Okay.
So a good thing to do is to start with the table of contents. And in it, you will see a list of the chapters. Each chapter has a title that relates to my story. And each chapter has a theme, like trust, or being powerless, or self-respect. Those are themes. And then there are specific lessons, which if you're watching any of these videos, you've been hearing about. So you can peruse quickly the table of contents and see if any of those things relate to you, like fear or forgiveness or any of those things. It's like, oh boy. And you may want to jump into the book right there and just go and see what that chapter's about. So that's one way to use the book. Another way is to read it. But I want to call your attention to the preface. The title of the preface, if there is such a thing, is called Looking in the Mirror. And all that says is that the point of the book is to help you accomplish self-awareness, have a relationship with yourself, and create a life that's about you, that's meaningful, fulfilling, and joyful. That is the point, looking in the mirror, and that's for the reader. And then the introduction is really to say that there are themes, there are lessons, and there are 12 chapters. So it's my life story. But the introduction will explain there are lessons and there are skills, because if you actually are ready to make a change or resonate with any of these chapters and kind of say to yourself, well, how do I do that? Like, what's that? That's easy for you to say. How do I do that? And so the back of the book, which is learning specific skills to become unstuck, at the end of every chapter, if it's about trust, there might be a suggestion of a couple of skills that would help you deal with trust, how to trust yourself, how to trust other people, etc. So there's a whole section called Becoming Unstuck, and it's nothing but skills for things like, well, you know, how do I apologize? Like, how does that really work? And what does it mean to resolve conflicts, or to manage expectations, or resolve guilt, or let go, or any of those things? So it's a whole section of quite a few pages. Actually, let's see, how many are there? Trusting myself, trusting other people. I forgot how many of these there are. I didn't count them, but there may be about 40 or 50. So it's quite a bit. And each chapter will refer, you can read through the list if you want, but they're related to chapters. And then there is a summary of the lessons and skills. So you see that list in the table of contents. And then at the end in the summary, it actually says the lessons again. And it says a couple of things about what that lesson is about. Like, well, what does it mean, delayed gratification? And then it's a little bit about what chapter that's in and what that is about. And then it identifies some skills for how to do that. And then at the very, 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 very back is just priceless help. So that refers you to the website and some consulting services. If you want to dig deeper, I will be doing some webinars and probably will be offering a reader group for people who would like to do a series of 12 lessons and dig deeper into all of this. So that's the book, and I hope you use it and enjoy it. And you have to use it. You have to get your pencil going. You have to engage it. And it's great if you do it with a friend. It's great always to write and talk out loud, because then you're really paying attention to what you mean. So all of that.
And if someone doesn't have a confidant or a friend or a partner that they can work through the book alongside, I know that you make yourself available and people can connect with you on your website, and you can work through all of these things.
Yeah. Send me a note. I'll be in touch.
All right. Esther, my friend, I'm so proud of the work that you have offered up to everyone. It's been a great honor to go through this book page by page and chapter by chapter with you. A real pleasure. It's absolutely my great honor to know you.
Thank you.
The
feeling is mutual, and this has been really a joy. So thank you for all of this.
Oh, it's absolutely been my pleasure, my honor, completely. So as always, I will put all of the information in the description bar down below so that you can find Esther, you can find more about the book, you can find more about the workbook. And both of us, I know, just want to say thank you so much for watching. We wish you the best in everything that you do.
Yes.
And closing notes, closing thoughts, Esther?
Just, I think if you've been listening to this, you know what motivates me, and that I want you to be able to create a life that's about you, that's meaningful, fulfilling, and joyful, and not to be stuck.
Exactly. We all need to get unstuck, and we can do that with Esther.
Right.
Esther, thanks so much again. Your time has been remarkably valuable, and you've been really generous to share it with us.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now.